This week on the Butcher Block, I'm going to share with you my patented technique called the Tri-Fly for creating a stuffed venison backstrap. Now generally on the Butcher Block, we're using the game processor from Outdoor Edge, but this week we're going to be featuring one of their new kits, which is one of my favorites, called the Butcher Light. Now the reason I like the Butcher Light so much, I can unbutton it, fold it open, and it actually has a belt scabbard here with all the knives that I need to process my game. Okay, we'll take our 6-inch boning and fillet knife here, and the first thing that we're going to do with our venison loin is just simply remove the silver skin from the back. Okay, we're just going to take our knife here. Really sharp, thin knife works excellent for doing this. You can just remove it in small strips down here and remove all of the silver skin from the back of the loin. Now, because we have such a long piece of meat here, we're simply going to fold it in half. We'll take our 6-inch knife, put it right in the middle, fold that loin over, make sure that our ends are even, and simply cut right through. There, now we have two perfectly even strips. Now the first cut that we want to make when we're creating our Tri-Fly cut here so that we can get the stuffing in there, if we simply cut it open and lay it apart, we're not going to be able to get very much stuffing inside that loin. So it's important if we Tri-Fly it, three-way fly it open, then we've got a nice area that we can get a lot of stuffing inside that backstrap. Now the first incision that we want to make when creating the Tri-Fly cut is we just simply want to come down about 1/2 inch off the top of our cutting table, and we're just going to make an incision about 3/4 of the way through our loin. Then we can flip that open, very similar to a basic butterfly cut. We don't want to cut the whole way through. Okay, there we go. Now we just want to turn the loin over, and now we want to make the exact same cut except towards the top of the loin. Now you can see we have the thick piece of the loin here, and we have the thin piece on the bottom. So what we've done is just actually taken the loin, turned it around now, so that our cut is facing us, and we're going to make the same cut, except this time we're going to make our incision about 1/4 to 1/2 inch down from the top surface of the meat. There we go. Now watch what happens. When we fold that open, we have a Tri-Fly. It flies right open 3 different ways now, so we have a much larger area to place our stuffing. Now the seasoning profile that we're going to use on this loin is actually the deer steak seasoning from the Western Sizzler High Mountain line. Now we'll just go ahead and open up our shaker bottle, and we're just going to apply a generous portion of seasoning to both sides of our Tri-Fly backstrap. Now we're ready to go ahead and take our homemade stuffing and just place it right in the center of our loin, and then you can either use toothpicks or cotton butcher twine to tie your roast together. Now there is just a beautiful, beautiful stuffed venison backstrap that we can place now into our zip-vac bag, put it in the freezer, put it in the refrigerator until you're ready to finish cooking it in your Bradley smoker. Now we've removed our Tri-Fly stuffed backstrap from our zip-vac bag. We've allowed it to marinate in the refrigerator for about 24 hours to be certain that that High Mountain seasoning's penetrated the whole way through the meat. Now we've set our Bradley smoker at 250 degrees and we've programmed it for 2 hours. It's not going to take a long time to completely cook this thin piece of backstrap that we have wrapped around our stuffing. Now we've placed it in an oven bag. We've poked a couple holes in the top of the bag just to allow some of that good smoke flavoring to penetrate into the product. It's not necessary to add any water to the bag because this product will create its own juice as it begins to heat in the Bradley smoker. Just going to place the product in the smokehouse here. See, we have a lot of smoke in that smoker. We're just going to place it right on our oven rack, close the door, and in 2 hours we will have a delicious meal that we can share with our family and friends. Everyone, always remember, processing your own wild game animals is fun, easy, and very rewarding if you have the tools and the knowledge to do the job.